Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at a very common topic usually done when we are generating embeddings for our data sets. So let me first, so we're going to be looking into chunking. So we're going to be chunking in the sizes from 25 to 200 lengths today, but our Snowflake Arctic embed model has a context length of 512, but we will still be looking at smaller context chunk lengths. So before we begin to chunking our data, let's look at our data set. Our data set is basically a data set of resumes with different categories. So this is the data card. So this is what we have. We have the ID, the resume string, the resume HTML, and the category that they belong to. So what I did was, because the resume string was too long and not in a very consistent format across resumes, I gave the resume strings to an LLM and got out valid JSON outputs for structured data extraction. So what I did was I extracted personal details, skills, and tagged their resumes for different skills, etc. So now let's chunk this data, AI extract, into multiple chunk lengths. So the chunk lengths we've chosen here are 25, 50, 100, and 200. Once you've chosen your chunk lengths, you can process your chunk lengths and you can get the embeddings using very simple local embedding model like Snowflake Arctic Embed 335. It's a pretty big model for its standard and performs very standard outputs, and I've seen very good results. So anyway, we have our CSV files and pickle files and the files indexes created for our chunk lengths from 25 through 200. So next we can move into our retrieval. So here I have a basic retrieval where we just retrieve the resumes directly without any kind of inference, but here I had a little more inference. So now for the chunk length of 25, we can see that I was returned 23 IT resumes. Now the reason I'm saying IT resumes is because the data we searched for within our index. So when we have everything like this is our cluster. So we put a JD, embed a JD, and we put that JD right into this place. And we count the distance between that JD. So say this was the JD, we count the distance between this JD and your resumes, and we return the top 30 closest resumes. So that's basically what's happening here. So we chunk this, we didn't chunk the job description in the first go. We directly pass this into the embeddings model. And keep in mind that it has to be less than 512 or your embeddings model limit. So we're getting the top end 30 results. And as you can see, for the chunk sizes of 25, 50, 100, and 200 with the files created. So again, let's see. For the chunk length of 25, 23 IT resumes were returned for that JD of information technology specialist. And for the chunk length of 50, we got the best result of 25. For the chunk length of 100, we start seeing a decline. And then for the chunk length of 200, we see a complete decline. Now, apart from chunking your data or your source data, we can also chunk our input query data, which means our job description. So to achieve this, what I did was I created a function. So here what you can do is you can select your chunk length. So let's go for something very simple. So we can see from above that smaller chunk lengths worked out. So with the same idea, I did chunk length of 25 with an overlap of, let's say, 2 words. Now this is running, and you can see this is quite quick, and 4.1 seconds, and all outputs are ready for us. Oh, just give me 1 second. There's a very common problem with cursor, the IDE that I'm using. Okay, no worries. So we can see it's back. So yeah, we can see for the chunk, when we chunked our input data into 25 tokens, you can see our results are actually pretty nasty, and we got only 3. So I ran this for a few chunk lengths. I guess we got for the chunk size of, so I did 25 here, so I had done 30 before, and this is for the different chunk sizes of the string data or our AI extract data. So don't get confused, this is for our input and this is for our actually stored resumes data. So when I chunked it at 30, I only was returned 4 IT resumes, 10, 13, 7. For the best of, when we didn't chunk this, we got, let's just look at how much we got when we didn't chunk. We got for 25, we got 23, 25, 21, and 16. So that's 23, 25, 21, and 16. So you can see the difference. Once we started chunking the JD for the query itself, it started going real bad and we saw a complete decline. So you'd want your JD or your query to be in a complete intact form, but you would want your data that is stored in the database to be chunked. Now let's talk about overlap. I haven't personally seen any great influence of overlap on anything until now, or having relevant information or relevant context between your chunks. But yeah, other than that, maybe having one or two words should, for your sake, be good. Other than that, that's been it for chunking, guys. I hope this was useful for you, because I've realized that a chunk size of anywhere between 25 to 50 is going to be good for my project right now. So I hope you find a required chunk size. For more data sets to work on, you can check out this dataset place. It's called Kaggle. It's pretty famous. And for more models like Embeddings Models and other local models, you can check out Olama. They serve a lot of models and they're very easy to install. They can run directly in your terminal as well. So yep, go ahead and see you in the next one.